Welcome, everybody, to the Minions of the Zoo Tuesday edition. And I'm your keeper this evening, Skep Tock, and with me I have Minions Prospero.
Hello.
And Serenity Star.
Hello.
You have Jenna this evening with us.
Hola.
And Adam.
Taco.
And Harry from the Harry channel.
Good evening.
And worthies all. It's such a pleasure to be with all of you. I'm trying not to gush, having Prospero back. I have missed you, my friend.
Prospero.
Going through some things that have just demanded your attention elsewhere, and we all understand that, but we've all missed you. Welcome back. How are things going?
I have missed being here. Number one, I have missed all of you, hearing your voices through my headphones. I can hear you on YouTube, but that's not the same. It's not at all the same as being here. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, if I got any better, I'd say that I was undeserving of that. We're having pretty good time right now. I've been researching why we can't grow corn, and it's interesting. Corn is an interesting plant. If you ever get into farming and stuff like that, corn is one of the most interesting plants you can get into, and it's interesting. As I've researched it, we just did so many things wrong. We were never going to grow decent corn, and anyway, not to turn this into that, but that's what I've been doing recently.
Yeah, they don't grow it here at the farm either. They tried it, and they were able to successfully grow a few rows, but it is a land consumer crop. I mean, if you want the kind of yield that people around, how people are in the South. If you want large
ears of corn, you have to grow a lot of it. And
yes.
When I say a lot, I
acres.
mean a half an acre at least.
At least,
half an acre at least.
And if you're going to try to satisfy a bunch of old people that go to a farmer's market, you better just turn the whole thing into, all your 10 acres into corn, and then you can't grow anything else. So it's not worth it. There's plenty of corn grown in this county. There's plenty of corn grown throughout the South, God love her, that is edible, not hog swill. Although I do get sick of Silver Queen.
Well, but anyway, so enough about corn. So,
well, damn
it. Are you talking publicly about what you've been doing, Prospero?
Sure, we moved. We moved out of the city of Richmond. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. When I sell the other house, I will never owe those motherfuckers another dime. Bye. But until then.
Tax bitterness.
Yes. Property tax bitterness, failure to pave their roads, infrastructure bullshit. It's amazing. They would do an infrastructure project, repave a road, and then tear it all up to do another infrastructure project in the same area because they fucked up the first one. These people, they are a self-sustaining leviathan of incompetence, just like all blue city governments are.
Hey, it's kind of like a perpetual war, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is, and it's undeclared against the citizens. We don't have any choice. So I am grateful. I will miss the home that we lived in because I liked the house, but it was too big. And I like this area. I like my trees. I like the sound of the river behind us. I can't see it this time of year, but that's fine. And
Harry.
I know. It's corn time, you jerk.
Do not. That looks scary.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
No,
here. We'll do it.
No.
It's corn time. Sorry. Never mind. Back to our regularly scheduled show.
Oh, God.
Nightmares and a migraine.
All right. Well, Serenity, what are you doing? Welcome everybody. We have to go around the horn here. Serenity, what have you been up to? Are you messing with dogs right now? I see you muted. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I timed out. Jenna, how are you doing?
Except for the fact that the humidity is about 2,000%, I am good.
Well, I'd take some
alive.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Adam,
No.
what have you been up to today?
Well, living.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I actually been trying to build up my portfolio in terms of artwork. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But other than that, it's Tuesday.
For people who don't know, Adam is an artist, and I've seen some of his work. He's very good. He's quite talented. Quite talented. One thing Minions of the Zoo has is artists. We've got several people who can draw, and Adam is one of them.
I'm all right.
Don't sell yourself short. You're better than all right.
So, and anyway, are you trying to potentially do this for a living, like graphic artistry, or is this just for fun?
No, actually, I recently applied for a job doing sign work, and they actually were looking for people who were prolific with Photoshop, and so it just got me kind of in the like, you know what? Maybe I should rebuff my portfolio and look into these different types of job avenues. I mean, everything right now, to be honest, is chaotic. So I don't think it's something that you can reasonably say like, yeah, my career is gonna be this. It's like, yeah,
yeah. I understand.
Ideally,
but it's easy to let back and let me or Lightfoot just guide you along in life.
Well, yeah, in in good old Chicago in current year, yeah, it's not
I hear you, man.
not a thing, but we keep the hope up, and like I said,
yeah.
Well, it's if you look at Cubs fans.
I actually think Mayor Lightfoot. I think Lori Lightfoot is going to run for vice president as Gavin Newsom's running mate.
Oh, that would be an awesome ticket. Absolutely
Newsom,
awesome.
Lightfoot.
I want that. No. I want that campaign button. Bad.
Yes, so do I.
Oh,
perfect hair and Beetlejuice hit the road. It would be awesome. Yeah. And awesome would have to be the word because that's what Gavin is.
Gavin is not. I'm changing my kid's name.
Can't you just hear people talking about how dreamy he is? Just like idiots talked about Justin Trudeau.
They'd have Beto O'Rourke as Secretary of Defense.
Oh, God. Yeah. One thing. Beto looks like a deranged rabbit. I mean, there is just something about him, those teeth. I don't know. I just don't get it. And in the empty head. Yeah. Rabbits look at you more intelligently than Beto.
Beta. Ugh. Harry, how you doing, man?
Oh, doing great. Just living the dream.
Yeah. You're working the work, aren't you? You're working really hard these days, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Well, I mean, I pretty much always do. But I think I told you about the this brilliant guy I ran into once who his plan was to institute some reforms. And one of his great ideas was first we plan the work and then we work the plan. That was his guiding principle. He's a real deep thinker.
First we planned the work, then
we work the plan.
Did he think there was some kind of metaphysical transformation that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Neat.
Yeah, because in order to actualize achievement, you need to plan the work, and then you need to work the plan.
You've heard of it.
Sure, of course, it's basic.
You've heard of a priori reasoning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's non-pareil reasoning. That's awesome.
It's post-priori.
Actually, that's unicorn farming. It's how it works.
I think isn't it a posteriori or something?
A posteriori and a priori. Yeah, let's not get into Kierkegaard.
We're going to discuss Kant.
Kant. Oh God, no. It won't happen.
Yeah, let's not do that.
He was the real pissant, though.
very
Look,
rarely
yeah.
stable.
Yes.
You have to say it right. Pissant.
Pissant. Yes. Emmanuel Kant was a pissant.
Thought it was I was gonna say I thought it was passant.
It's not pissant. It's not as attractive as pissant. It's pissant.
You have
Well, I
to
don't
say
know.
it
I
like
think
the song.
yeah,
Yeah.
passant. I think if you're from
No, like the
the
song.
northern part
Like
of
the song
France,
that Prospero is referencing.
yeah,
Yeah. But they're not calling him a pissant. They're calling him a pissant.
Just
but it's still a
can't.
tasty
You
pie.
mean that's
to
not
be
a
honest.
Boston thing?
Calling somebody a no, not pissa, pissant.
Well, yeah, I thought
So-
pissant was a Boston thing too.
Yeah, it's a
No.
You little
no, it's a
pissant.
French thing. It's a Quebec thing. It's a passant.
Well,
No.
Boston now
There's
claims
no
it.
E involved. It's Pissant.
No, but yeah, no, there's no e. It's an accent. They have that little scribble thing over the on.
That would be
It's an accent aigu.
Yeah,
over the
it's
A.
an accent.
an accent. Oh my God, it's MSG.
It actually refers to a type of ant, believe it or not.
A pissant, yeah.
A pissant is an actual type of ant. I can't remember what it is, but
Like
a
a stink bug. And a dung beetle.
I think it's a real ant, actually.
I do think it is, but I'm saying, like dung
no.
beetles and
Like
stink bugs are real.
Yeah.
You can be a
Oh.
wicked pissant.
Yes, you can be a wicked pissant.
Yeah. Kant was a wicked pissant.
Wait, is that a Boston thing? Like,
Wicked pissa is a Boston expression. It wasn't when I was around up there, but it became one. Something being wicked pissa.
I remember when my sister moved to Boston. Now, she had never been in Boston in her life until she married a guy. This was 50 years ago. And all of a sudden she comes out saying wicked this and wicked that. And she lost me completely. That was my introduction to the Boston dialect was through my sister.
They said it about everything. I moved up there, and isn't it wicked hot today? Isn't it wicked
Wicked
cold
hot,
today?
wicked cold. Yeah.
Wicked
It's
hot,
wicked
wicked
humid
cold.
right now.
It's wicked humid. You're in wicked. That person is a wicked dork. They would dump it on anything. The traffic is wicked today. It's like, wasn't wicked enough? No, it's wicked.
Yeah.
All right. And you pick it up because you hear it constantly.
I just thought it was normal English.
But it's
Not anywhere else.
Used as an intensifier.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
means very, basically.
It is a replacement for very, and it's very much an up there thing, Jenna. It's nobody down here says it's wicked hot. Unless they're saying, good grief, this heat is wicked, is how they would put it, meaning it's evil, not
So,
very.
and they don't use it for good or bad.
No.
'Cause
This is
wicked
wicked
is
cold.
used for
This
good
is
or
wicked.
bad.
Yeah, this is wicked cool. This candy's wicked
Like-
good. Yeah.
My
and I
air
can tell you,
conditioner is wicked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
out here in the Midwest, we don't even use wicked.
Nobody down
If
in
you
the
say
South does.
wicked,
Adam,
if you
you
say
start the
wicked and
trend.
it's not around Halloween time,
Mhm.
we're gonna look at you funny.
Right. I mean, somebody's talking about something evil or bad if they use
They're
wicked.
sitting there like, "Oh yeah, there's wicked." It's like, what are you, a witch? Did they
Mhm.
open the spirit stores already? What the
Well,
fuck's
we
going
also
on?
call ourselves massholes.
Assholes.
I swear to God, I think New Hampshireites must have given you that name for the way people drove across the border, chasing the
Well,
cheap
yeah.
liquor and the cigarettes.
Wait, what's a
And the
mass?
fireworks. A
Anybody
masshole
from
is
Massachusetts?
anyone from Massachusetts. We don't
But it has
want
nothing to do with
here.
you, Jenna. You're from Rhode Island.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we don't want you here. We're gonna flip you off. If you don't know how to drive in the fast lane, just get off the highway.
They're all fast
Um,
lanes in Boston, by the way.
Mhm.
Even
Yeah.
the breakdown lane.
But speaking
Wait.
speaking of different slangs, Chicago has a slang all its own.
Does it?
Adam, have you ever heard the term French room?
Wait, come by there again?
French room. It's Chicago slang. I'm not kidding. French room. It's a space like a living it's like an informal living room. It's not your formal living room. It's your in or your rec room.
It's a front room?
French room. It's called a French room. It almost
French.
sounds like front room, but the traditional Chicago bungalow style home usually has a French room just off the entryway.
It's
Okay,
FRUNCA,
hold on.
Adam.
Hold
It'll
on,
be
hold
off
on.
to the side just as you walk
Whoa,
in.
whoa, whoa. Hold on. The only thing that personally that I would recall is hearing from people that there was the I guess the living room was actually like an type of like that's where they would have the funerals and the whatnot.
Yeah, that's where you have the wake
Yeah.
food. Yeah. Yeah, that's where you receive people. Exactly. How about the L? If I said the L, do you know what I'm talking about in Chicago slang?
The train.
Yeah, I took that to
What
go to
is it,
school.
Adam?
I took that to go to school.
You had to ride the L to go to school? The L is an elevated
train, yeah.
Yeah. I took it to the merchandise mart. Do you know what merchandise mart is?
Yes, of course I do.
Come on. Yeah, I went to art school out there. Come on.
Really interesting.
There was
All
an
right.
L in Boston too. So I mean,
Well, you know what?
Short
Ours was
run.
better because
it was.
we get ours.
Have you ever heard anyone say "let's dip"? Let's leave.
Well,
I
I've heard
can't
somebody say
We're
let's
gonna
dip,
we're
but
gonna dip out. That term comes from Chicago. That's a Chicago area term.
I've heard
and-
let's a
and
dip,
was-
but it's
My
not a
teenage
dip that you probably would.
Yeah, I've heard.
It
Yeah.
just means you're gonna leave. And
Yeah.
that's like that we say that sometimes, and that I've heard it a couple times in different places in the Midwest. We're gonna dip, peace out, that kind of stuff, like, or bounce. It's dip or bounce. Bounce is
Yes.
not Chicago though, but dip is.
Well, there's also other dips.
Oh yeah, there's
Um,
other ones. Yeah.
but yeah.
In the South, if somebody's talking about dipping, they're talking about chewing tobacco.
Oh yeah, they're talking about. That's the reason why sometimes people will say they're gonna bounce, because
Mm-hmm.
you could be saying you're going outside to get some dip
Yep.
or chew some dip.
Oh shit! See, mine
Now
would
I
be
have
like
to.
somebody's gonna be dipping their joint in some sort of extra coating. I don't know what it is. You never know what it is. So that's why when somebody says, "Hey, you wanted this dip?" It's like, nope.
No.
You don't
Unless
what
you
the
know
fuck
where it
we're-
came from. No.
Do you know where the term dibs? Like I've got dibs on that. You know where that came from? That came from Chicago.
Did it
Does
A
really?
little bit of linguistic anthropology from Chicago here. Yeah, dibs was that was people would put personal items like scarves and or piles of books. I shit you not, on parking places they were claiming in the snow in Chicago. This is absolutely true, and they would say. I'm getting so sick of my neighbor getting dibs on the best parking spot in the block. But if you went out early and put your personal stuff out, you could reserve a part of the roadway for your parking spot, and people would call that putting dibs on something. Putting
Oh,
dibs
shit,
on a
yeah.
parking spot.
Well,
That's
in
where that
Boston-
term comes from.
Well, there's two different, because dibs started as child slang in the early 1900s, but the Chicago dib system is a different thing, because there was a kids game that started with the word dibs. I can't remember what it's called, but there was like a kids game that started at, and then it kind of branched out colloquially to a bunch of other people, and then Chicago's dib system is different, came from that, but it started as a kids slang, if I remember right.
Wait,
I
hold
just can't
on.
remember the kids game. I can't remember what it's called. God dang it.
So you're telling me that this wasn't originally a delicious chocolate
No.
confection made from Willy Wonka called the Dibs, and
No.
you're gonna get a pack of Dibs.
Oh,
they're
with the
crunchy and
little
have a little caramel coating.
It was
Mhm.
called Dibstones.
That's what it was.
Serenity. And it took its name from the obsolete verb dib, meaning to dab or to pat.
Harry, why are you causing me PTSD?
What, a picture of a ladybug chair securing a parking spot is causing you PTSD?
Oh God,
And
I
you-
remember when that happened a few years ago when people kept getting pissed about the parking spaces going away because of the snowstorm.
And here's the dibs thing I found.
Well, in Boston,
Competition.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is
Yeah.
what I'm
in
talking
Boston, after you clear out your spot, you're allowed to put a lawn chair there when you go to work or whatever.
Yeah, no.
Does
You
it-
leave, it's up.
No,
Yeah.
No,
I'll
yeah,
move-
there's
yeah, it's like-
people.
It's
They'll
a
put
very
their
In-
trash can bins too.
Boston.
Yeah, no, I get out of car and move that crap.
Look,
You're
that's
not-
mine.
Then you can get towed. The
is that
person.
Salinas? Is that
No,
Salinas
no,
area?
no.
Why would you get
The
towed if I
person-
moved someone else's trash cans? They didn't.
Yeah.
They don't own that spot.
Because
Why do
it's
they
the
get-
rules. I didn't make them.
The rules suck.
And they did. They had to shovel out the spot themselves.
Look, there's a
I-
Wikipedia section about it. Okay,
Yeah.
there's the rules.
Eh,
It's
I'm
dibs.
I'm
very West Virginian about this. Once you move your ass, it's done.
No, yeah, it's
Well, in
there's
Boston, you get a ticket.
Well, that's stupid.
well this idea
Okay.
is a stern
23
Chicago
inches
ideal.
snow.
There's also the people
Mhm.
who just you know what, I'm just gonna have everything mobile and keep it as mobile as possible so I don't have to deal with this shit.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
what about
Like,
what about
it's-
pinners? PINNERS.
What penners? Ooh,
Yeah. You heard of that one?
I have not.
It's supposed to be a street game played by flinging a rubber ball against a set of concrete steps or a ledge.
Oh, I played that. I just
If an
didn't call
opposing
it pinners.
player catches the rebound, it's an out. Singles,
Yep.
doubles, triples, and home runs are scored if the ball passes predetermined landmarks,
Mhm.
That
also
sounds like
known as
much in
three
the
outs.
middle.
Yeah,
I played that game. I just didn't know what it was called. It was just there's not much else to do. In
I think it's only called that in Chicago.
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 At this point, considering how crime's going in Chicago, New York, and Los Angeles, it's like, why would you even own a car?
I don't think they're playing that game too much nowadays. So
It's just part of living in a city, right?
Ugh.
Okay,
And-
Pinners is a Chicago neighborhood game played on the front stoop or walls with angled bricks or stones, which can be used to pop the ball in the air. Reference and accounts of playing exist in 1949 or earlier. The batter would throw a rubber or tennis ball at the edge of the step or angled wall brick, and the fielders would try and catch the ball as it bounces back. The ball used was 2.5-inch hollow pink soft rubber ball called a pinky that bounced well off the edges of steps. Baseball gloves were not allowed. Scoring rules similar to baseball, but with runs being virtual, determined by where the ball lands. A single, double, triple, or home run would be predetermined landmarks: sidewalk, trees, cars, street, curb, sidewalk line, etc. From the batting area. Interesting. A catch is an out. One-handed catch could be used for a rushy, as with most neighborhood games. Rules varied by the groups playing, and the house rules would be determined at the start of the game, including base locations and so forth. I had never heard of that, Harry.
Yeah.
The high bounce pinky ball is still made.
What about this one?
Wear the jacket.
Wear the jacket?
Yeah. During a political scandal, an underling who takes the fall for his
Takes the
boss's
fall.
misdeeds is said to wear the jacket.
Mm-hmm. Take the hit.
Yeah.
Wear the jacket. Interesting.
We're not
My
talking about
family that
tackle
worked
bucket.
for Whitey College about whatever might have done that.
Yeah.
some Dick
I mean,
Tracy type of terminology.
Chicago.
Who's going to wear the jacket for that? It's kind of a mob sounding line.
Yeah, this is
Well, I
from
mean,
Chicago
jacket.
Magazine 2018. So
Ah, very good.
what do I know?
Yeah, Chicago.
Hey, man,
Want to
Magazine.
know what California terms are?
No.
Peace, love.
No.
Don't use plastic bottles.
Well, hold
No.
on.
No, we have
Do you
phrases like
think-
humidity. What's that? Haha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that they, at least if we're
I will
goofing
hurt
on
you,
the
little man.
terminology, or at least the accent? I mean, obviously it's 30s, 40s type gangster. Don't you think they had this type of stuff in California and New York?
Well, yeah, sure. I was just making fun of California because it's fun.
Oh, we definitely have gangsters out here.
Oh yeah.
Because
In California? Are you kidding?
where Teamsters go, gangsters gangsters
their-
tend to follow, and vice
what
versa.
would their accents sound like though?
They wouldn't have any. They'd just
well-
be like,
I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Joe Bananas. I
Yeah.
can't remember
Joey,
the
Joe Bonanno.
Banano. Thank you.
Banano.
Yeah, he was
Banano.
he was a big time operator.
Where's he from?
I
Well, he
don't
was
know.
all around, not just
Origin-
California, but the Southwest, I believe,
Oh,
Mhm.
including California. But he actually was tried and put away, finally, I think, in San Jose, of all places. So, yeah, he was a California guy.
what would a Canadian gangster sound like?
Hello,
nice,
old friend.
Yeah, hello. It's a nice house you have here.
I like how the
House.
first thing is, hello, friend. I got a gun pointed at you, but don't worry. Just give me your money.
Yeah.
I'm not your friend.
How's
pal.
family?
You
I'm
know,
not your buddy guy.
you know
What's
what's
your guy,
interesting
buddy?
about Joe Bonanno is
Banana.
this guy lived to be 97 years old.
Holy shit.
Died in 2002?
He retired and lived in
Oh, he
Tucson, Arizona.
He
Just-
retired.
He had just a nice little life. Yeah.
Yeah, he died in
Yeah, that's
2002.
He was
He-
done.
Did he really?
He was
Yeah,
done being a gangster.
he
Oh, yeah.
died
That's it.
May 11th, 2002, 97 in Tucson.
Did he get a
He's 97 years old.
401k?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that poor one? Mobbing, Mob Incorporated.
Let's see.
He went by Joe
that was-
Bananas
that
and Don
that was a
Casino.
Saturday, right?
I want to know who this
That
Joe
was a
Bananas
Saturday.
is.
That was a Saturday when he died.
I have no idea.
Possibly.
Yeah. I think May 11th, 2002 was a Saturday.
One of the
I
other
believe.
ones, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
but it was
one
a
of the other
Tuesday.
days. I think it was a Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah.
now
But that was a big deal. I mean, yeah, we do we did have some gangsters and stuff out here, but in addition to that kind of gangster, there's also gang sort of Asian gangs that
Mhm.
have little remote branches here in California, and then of course the Nuestra Familia, which is the Mexican mafia,
Oh, yeah.
and then also the gangs like the Bloods and the Crips and so on
We've
and
been
so
around
forth.
for years.
it was a Saturday.
Yes, it was. I just looked it up too.
I just looked it up. Yeah.
You don't have a shortage of spurgery here.
I just wanted to see.
I
that.
have brain
Generation.
damage.
Yeah. Well, I know you have Dane Bramage, but I just as soon as Skep did that, and then it was like I thought it was a Tuesday because Adam loves Tuesday apparently.
Hey, it's M. Bison's favorite day. No, actually, it was just a regular day.
Macadon, you goof. But then I'll start being like, okay, I've got to look this up.
Sorry.
We're all that way. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I don't have Ask Siri. I actually had to type it.
Hmm.
You didn't hear too much clacking because I finally cut my nails off practically to the quick because I was just done with the
He
clacking.
looks like such
I
a
Well-
muted
basic
myself.
Well, you say you were typing. I was waiting to hear the ka-ching.
She's not that old.
I still have one of those Royal
It's not even
typewriters.
that old. How would you connect it to your computer?
Yeah,
Hey, I have a keyboard that will literally fake the typewriter sound if I tell it to.
Oh, yo,
Wait,
I've seen
the-
some people make some mechanical keyboards, and
Mhm.
they make it. Ooh, they make it extra.
I love the clicky clacky keyboards, right, Harry?
Damn straight.
You
Yeah.
like?
can
You
do
do that
that.
too?
I'm
I
gonna
like
have
to know
try
that I have hit the key.
yeah.
I
Wait.
like the feedback saying
Yeah.
it goes click.
Yes.
When I
This
I
is
cannot stand
Joe
sound.
Banana non.
Yeah,
Banana.
Banana nan. That's the banana nan.
yeah.
Yep.
Banana man.
He looks
Let's
like
go
somebody
bananas.
that's trying to sell you insurance.
He doesn't
Exactly.
look like somebody who's jumping down the stairs to hang out with.
He looks
Teddy
like
bears.
Harry
Form of
Truman.
insurance.
Yeah,
I do not like this guy. He looks scary.
he looks
a little
normal.
too.
He looks
Oh.
normal.
He and Al.
He looks a
Oh,
little
We all know
too-
which Al from Chicago were hanging out.
He
Bundy?
They
God
would have
damn
Yes,
it.
Al Bundy from Chicago.
they would have overlapped a little bit, but they never would have interacted. I don't think.
I was kidding.
Well, no,
Al
but
Froman?
their years like alive would have overlapped though. So if he was working his way up, they may have interacted.
I've been having word retrieval issues for the last however old I am, but the last week has been really bad, so I can't think of his last name, and
Capone.
it's on the tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to say it because I'm gonna screw it up.
Capone.
Capone.
There you
Bingo.
go. See?
Or Capone back in
Capone,
the
yeah.
in the old country.
One of my
Oh.
favorite people from Chicago is Lou Malnati.
Oh,
Ah.
God.
Yeah, because they're the deep dish.
Damn
Jen-
straight. I
So-
still have about 4 or 5 of those left in my
It's not a
freezer.
pizza, it's a casserole.
I was going
It
to
is.
say
It's not a pizza, it's a pie.
It's a delicious casserole.
it's a delicious casserole. Exactly right. Don't call it a pizza, please.
It's lasagna made with bread
Treasure
instead of
trove.
noodles.
Yeah.
What
My
do you think
husband-
about that, Adam? As the Chicago native here, what do you think about our verdict on deep dish pizza? It's a casserole, not pizza.
Well, I don't know. I think anybody who starts saying it's a casserole or it's whatever, I think those people are just kind of jealous of the
No.
deliciousness
let me
of
tell you why.
the
let me tell you why I'm asking.
hometown pie that we
Because
have.
No.
I want.
So
want
I
to-
mean,
I want
I'm
to
just
apply
gonna
it.
say, you know what? Honestly, because you guys are saying this, tomorrow I'm gonna have to go and walk into a Lou Malnati's and get a pie.
Yeah.
Hey, they sell
not a-
Illuminati's on Amazon.
What the
Not
hell?
kidding, they do.
Tasteofchicago.com. There is a 10% sale right now.
I said I'm
The
gonna walk
taste.
in. I said I'm gonna walk
The
into a
taste.
Lou Malnati's and order a pie. I don't have
I
to
know, but I'm
order
talking about the
from
people.
Amazon.
I'm
What
talking
the
about the people
fuck?
who don't have
Do you
the
ever
stomach.
go to Uno's or Duet?
Although, hold on. Lou
Uno's
Malnati's
is
is good.
not
Hold on.
true
Lou
Chicago
Malnati's is
pizza.
good. And then there's Chicago Uno, I think. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a local place called Rosati's, and they have some pretty good deep dish pies too. So there's a lot of places out here. Just like New York, you can walk across the street and you'll find some, another Tony's or
Somebody's got a slice.
yeah. Everybody's they got the authentic New York slice. Out here in Chicago, I mean, it's not as cheap because it's fucking a thick ass slice of pie, but
You mean like
You know,
a
you-
casserole?
Harry, why did you tell me about this website, Harry? Why? Why did
Which
you do this to
website?
me?
Oh, the one where you can buy all the Lou Malnati stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
You're
I
welcome.
hate you now. I hate you.
yeah, Gino's
Either way.
East is pretty good. Yeah, Gino's East is pretty good.
It's,
So-
it's a good thing I don't like Chicago style pizza.
Oh,
So
that's okay. You know what, Prosby?
Well, it means more for you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'll have
Well, they also have the website also has Portello's Italian beef, Garrett popcorn, and Gibson steaks.
I don't need to know anything about that.
Hold on,
Make it
Portillo's.
stop.
Now you're going off board here.
You said Italian beef, and I was like,
yeah, that's
shit. Stop it.
Hold on.
You know
Hold
what?
on. If you're
Prospero,
hold on, you're
respectful heart.
traveling the straits of Chicago eatery, and you have on one side you have deep dish whirlpool that will swallow your ship whole, and on the other side you have a multi-headed demon monster dragon
this
thing
is
that
like
has.
Scylla and Charybdis, right?
Yes,
Is that what
exactly.
Which way are you gonna go? Because honestly, son of that Portillo's beef is pretty tasty. Oh my
Mhm.
god! And you get the peppers. Oh, yo,
Mm.
Yeah.
yo. Oh, okay. You know what? You're making me hungry. This is not good.
Okay.
I'm glad that
I had a-
Prospero got my Scylla reference. Thank you for.
You're very welcome. I
I
was
feel like my education was not in vain.
I was trying to figure out who the siren in this piece was going to be.
Okay.
Well, hey,
Good
hey,
night.
just remember, 6 of us is gonna have to go. So
It's gonna die now.
God damn it. Who's there? Nobody.
Fuck you, that's who. No.
Yeah. It would have been so much more entertaining if that had been Odysseus's response. Who's there? Fuck you, that's who.
May have worked out better.
Either way, I'm getting.
Suddenly Odysseus is played by a guinea, you know, it's like, oh,
Well, I mean-
fuck you, you know?
Excuse me.
I know. I'm Italian too.
So this is Sicilian style pizza. You know,
With love.
like they
Hey,
make in
with love.
Sicily. So it's like like
They're
a
on
big
fire.
airy pillow of deliciousness,
It's
and
amazing.
it's
You gotta
very
remember,
very
this is-
good.
Yeah,
If we're
Sicilian
going
style
according
pizza is
to
pretty
his
amazing.
travels, this is after he already traveled past Sicily. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So,
He was on his way actually to it's posited that it is actually the Gibraltar Strait that
Mhm.
and along the way,
Led
he
to
learned the
Ceylon for-
deliciousness of deep dish pizza.
yes. The
Okay,
siren
and
the
it's still
siren
deep.
whistled him over and said, "Yo, I got a pie. Want to try
I
it?"
got a pass.
Oh no!
I want to go to something else about Chicago. So
And no wonder they had to lash the sailors to the mast. I mean, it was like delicious Italian beef and
No,
then
no, that
deep
it
dish
just himself.
pie. You know?
Just himself. Everybody else had
Yeah, they got to die.
beeswax in their ears.
That's right.
But they still had to be lashed,
Thank,
if I
thank
remember
you,
right.
thank
Or
you.
did
Yeah,
he
he
have
did.
flags?
He was lashed to the mast.
He was like, you know what?
Okay.
And I'm gonna be the only one.
I had it bass backwards.
I went down the.
Wow.
You don't want to know how many years ago I read the Odyssey. I don't even want to think how many years
Hey,
ago I read the Odyssey.
I remember back when TV used to have miniseries, the miniseries of the Odyssey and the Iliad that they had on CBS.
yeah.
How
I
boring.
remember that.
I just wanted to show you guys
Oof.
where this guy
Is that it?
where Joe Bananas was born. This is Castello Amar de Golfo in Sicily, and it is absolutely a gorgeous part.
Kind of looks like a pizza crust there along the shore.
yeah, kind of suggestion of pizza with
There's
a
a
round
relative of
little
mine.
little harbor there, but
Mhm.
yeah. But no, it's actually a very beautiful place.
Wouldn't mind visiting Sicily.
So much Italy is
Those
gorgeous.
people can kill each other and they can cook. Jesus. Because
So
a
If you
Sicilian
show
can
their-
cook. I mean, they can-
I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just it's a lovely.
I mean,
it sounds
so-
like almost West Virginian in it. Like they can
Go
kill
back
and they
to-
can cook, whether you're eating
So-
the person that they killed. Or
so can the
Yeah.
Neapolitans, but I mean, there's a lot of great food that are up and down Italy, but
Whoa, hold on. Isn't that a Detroit pizza?
no, that's a
No.
that's a
Well, I can
Sicilian.
understand your confusion.
Detroit?
It's similar, but the thing about the Detroit pizza, it's a little denser and there's the crust is crispier. Because this
Oh,
place
we
in
We can tell that from the picture, Harry.
well, this place in San Jose actually makes Sicilian pizza and Detroit style pizza.
Oh.
Now, I've talked to
Not
people
enough
from
of
Detroit
these.
about
Yeah.
Detroit style pizza, and they say that if you go there, the thing you need to remember is that it's very inconsistent. Like,
Is
even
it?
if you go to a place like Buddy's, which has multiple locations, some of them are really good and some of them suck.
Yeah. No.
So it's very easy to get a bad Detroit pizza.
Hold on,
So don't lose
but-
hope if the first time you try it, you don't like
But
it.
is it a real thing? Or is it like
Yeah.
just something that people made
No.
up?
It's a real style.
It's a real
Okay.
No,
thing,
Adam,
bud.
it's a real thing.
Because I like Detroit pizza. I think it's.
Mhm.
had,
I don't
Oh,
hate
second.
Chicago style pizza, but I prefer New York style because there's a chain down
Yo.
here that does New York style.
New York's
Um,
good. You know, the only style of pizza in terms of American style, as far as I've tried, is Northwest. That's horrible pizza. They put cheddar cheese on their fucking like.
That's
Oh yeah,
wrong.
no, I know
That
what you're
is
talking about.
So
What in the
many
fuck
kinds
is
of
wrong
wrong.
with these people?
That is so wrong. I mean,
Put
look,
cheddar cheese on their pizza.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was a place in Richmond called Pizza Inn that literally made taco
Yes.
pizzas.
Yep.
And they actually didn't suck as bad as they should have.
Mm-hmm.
They
But
should
it-
have sucked more than they should have. That they
Yeah.
were sucking.
Yeah, I mean, because what a terrible thing to do to the taco and what a terrible thing to do to the pizza. But they, for some reason, they hit the mark
Ugh.
Mhm.
with this thing. It was over near U of R. And I mean, you could get people who actually like pizza and actually like tacos to get the taco pizza at this place.
Oh yeah, I've had like if taco, it's like anything. If the taco pizza is made well, it's really good.
It
Like, I've
wasn't
had
far
taco
from where you were born.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
And let me.
I'm
let
not
me
kidding.
just
It was
say,
down the
there's
same
I
street.
found an
Oh, yeah,
interesting
no.
thing about Detroit pizzas. The style of pizza is often baked in rectangular steel trays designed for use as automotive drip pans or to hold small industrial parts in factories.
Makes perfect
It was-
sense.
It was baked that way, and that's why they're square.
Mhm.
And the key is it is traditionally topped with tomato sauce and Wisconsin brick cheese that goes all the way to the edges. So there's
Oh
no
man, they put
cheese-free
Wisconsin
edges.
cheese. I can't.
Wisconsin brick cheese.
Wisconsin
So
brick
it's,
cheese. Is
it's
a little
actually
different.
made from bricks.
Well,
Yeah.
you know how we Illinoisians, is that the term?
Yeah.
You know how we Illinois care about these Wisconsinite and their cheesehead. No, it's really good.
You'll
It's
drink-
yeah.
really good cheese.
You'll
Get the
drink
fuck
your
out of here.
you'll
So
drink your
keep
beer.
You're 50 miles away from Wisconsin.
I know. And sometimes you make a track. The only thing I won't do is cheese curds. I don't understand why people enjoy that. That's just kind of weird.
What's a
taste.
cheese curd?
It's
Oh my goodness.
it's a weird tasting thing.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
kind of
It's an acquired taste. I kind of
Yeah.
like it. So
well,
being
it's I mean, it's necessary for Putin.
Yeah.
It's
But-
it's necessary for south of the border Putin.
Well,
Wait,
I was gonna say-
Putin? Wait, is that what? Wait,
Yeah,
that's the
cheese curd.
Canadian Putin. Are
Yeah,
you saying Poutine?
Poutine. Yeah,
Is that
poutine.
where they have gravy all over French fries?
that has cheese curds on it?
That's what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
cheese curds.
That's
Yeah,
what
and
poutine
gravy.
is.
Oh,
It's
what?
that looks like a heart attack in a.
It's
plate.
actually apparently one of the better hangover foods.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's really
Well,
good. It's
you
really
know, I
good.
get drunk all the time.
Yeah, but it is kind of. I remember Nadia G. Bitchin' Kitchen on Cooks on the cooking channel, talking about. And you ever know anybody with a hangover? Make them poutine.
Mhm.
They'll be happy. It's kind of like the Wendy's cheeseburger and fries deal. That that was the fix for the hangover. For me, it would be like, all right, this is going to be a lot of fat and exactly what I need because this is the nap inducing because I feel so shitty I can't sleep. So now I can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to go get a book to
Oh,
answer this
Jesus.
appropriately. So I reached into the collection of cookbooks.
Hold on. Can I just
So-
imagine? I just imagine Harry as Gandalf going to.
He runs up the circular
That's right.
stairs with his
Yeah.
He's
staff
going
and
through the
all
towers
lit
like
up.
I must find out what
I
is this
found.
ring.
Well, I'm trying to find this because basically Adam
Goes to minus
mentioned
two.
that it looked like Detroit pizza. So this is from the Elements of Pizza by Ken Forkish.
The elements
As
of
another
pizza.
example, Buddies in Detroit tops their dough with cheese, sauce, and then cheese again. Their
Oh,
cheese
so they-
lines the edge of the pizza where it gets crisp like a frico and frames the rectangular pie. Quality examples of the New York square slice and other gooey, cheesy pan pizza can be found at Adrian's, yada, yada, yada. You might call any of these pan pizzas known as pizzas, grandma pizza, or square pizza. The
Grandma
crust is not as thick as an American Sicilian pizza, which is almost as thick as most focaccia. So,
Hold on. So
yes, sir.
if they put a layer of cheese and then whatever is what sauce and then
Cheese sauce,
right?
cheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that not the same thing as the Chicago style?
No.
No.
Because
No.
it's no,
Hey,
because
hey.
it's like a frico
Hold on.
on top.
Hold on. If you're gonna sit there and say my beloved Chicago style delicious pizza pie is some way like a key lime pie, but you're not gonna look at this Detroit abomination as the same thing. They're
No,
cooking in
it's more like
auto parts.
no.
Wreckage. Get out of here.
The Detroit abomination's more like a cookie, like a layer
Yeah.
cookie, than a key lime pie.
It's
Which-
super
which-
crispy.
they're
The
hiding
Detroit
behind
one's
the
super
grandma
crispy
part.
on the bottom, and half
Yeah.
the point is it's got to be like really lots of olive oil, and so you're really crisping up. It's almost like a huge crouton with melty stuff over the top of it.
It
With
shares
a-
a lot of
it's-
similarities with the St. Louis style.
With the-
which
The
is like a
Sicilian
cracker
pizza is
almost.
really tall. It's got a lot of air, and like you said, it's like a
Mhm.
focaccia with
Yeah.
topping on it. And there's nothing about those words that sounds bad to me.
No, no,
Honestly,
no.
I'm a pizza whore. I will eat any kind of pizza. I really am not that fussy about it. As long as it's a good version of what it's supposed to be, I'm happy. I mean, Detroit,
As long as-
Chicago, New
As long
York.
as the dough.
I'm making you a
Neapolitan,
T-shirt that says
Rome.
that.
Yeah,
Hey.
I mean, honestly, if I had to pick one, I would pick probably like pizza like they have from Naples.
I'm with
That's
you.
my favorite. Is
Oh.
is the super
Neapolitan.
I want to
Really
go back
easy.
to
super
Italy
basic,
so
just
bad.
really
Yeah.
good crust, wood fired, little bit of sauce,
That's-
little bit of
that's-
cheese. Just I don't need a
Some
lot.
basil. Ugh.
That's the part of
Okay.
Italy where pizza actually
was
comes
invented.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
because
mean,
it's
I'm
funny
with
that
you.
volcanic soil really makes for great tomatoes, doesn't it? It's like, sorry you guys had to die, but man, this tastes good.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% with you. The only thing I got to say is, one, what is St. Louis pizza? I don't know if I want to know, but let's dive into that. But also, you know what? Top tier. Little Caesars. Let's go. Come on.
No,
No.
I've
No. That's
Ew.
not
always been twice for Little Caesars.
That
That's
is
all
amazing.
but no.
Come on, pizza.
Yeah. Is
St.
St.
Louis
Louis
Bad
pizza-
Adam.
Is St. Louis pizza
Adam, go to the corner.
Okay,
The
I'm
one that
sorry.
comes on, it's real stiff. It's real.
It's from what the internet says.
Oh,
It's thin cracker-like crust made without yeast. Generally uses Provolone processed cheese and cut into squares or rectangles instead of
Oh,
wedges.
so it's like matzo pizza.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
matzo pizza. Okay,
I
so
have to
it
be
is
in
like-
the
it is
mood
the
for St.
cracker
Louis
one.
style.
Well, you
pizza.
know the super crispy, the thin crust pizza.
Hold on, wait.
Thin crust
wait.
where
So
they-
wait, what was
like-
St. Louis
yeah.
pizza? Is for cottage
It's like
cheese?
cracker.
Mm.
It's like it's on a cracker because it's the dough with no a crust with no yeast in it, and it's
Like
cut in
a
squares or
matzo?
rectangles,
Yeah, that's it. Like
Yeah.
matzo pizza.
like a matzo cracker.
Yep.
Yeah,
Instead of
What?
pizza, it's matzo pizza.
It's a matzo.
I know, really. I mean, if you were going to make
Mazel
St.
tov.
St.
No
St. Louis
way.
pizza,
Is it really?
Yeah, just
Oh my
call it
God. Hold on,
matzo
Harry.
matzo toff.
Please pull up
Matzo top, that is
St.
so
Louis
wrong.
pizza. Oh
Isn't
my
it?
god!
I didn't
please.
even know
It's
St.
so
Louis
wrong.
pizza was a thing.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, it's matzo pizza.
I have a
Olive
whole
oil
book
bag.
on pizza in front of me, and it has nothing about St. Louis pizza
Dude.
in it. So
Hold on.
I've had it in Kiever Dam.
I know I believe you, but
Kiever
I'm
was
not
the one
feeling
who brought
guilty
it
for
up,
not
too.
knowing what it is.
They fry ravioli for fuck's sake. Or
I've had-
use it.
Oh,
It's
fried
crunchy.
ravioli is amazing.
I'm not
very
gonna
Yeah,
lie.
it is.
I like matzo. That's some good.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
it's
dear.
very yeah. It's not.
And
It's
so their
nothing like
butter
that
cake is
pizza.
amazing.
I mean, it's not
too.
wonderful, but it's something that I don't know. I'm a
Okay,
weirdo like
I
that.
got your
I'll
picture
eat
coming
hot
up here.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I hate to replace this beautiful
I know.
Sicilian pizza with this thing.
I'm
Well,
about to show you New Mexico stuff.
Hold on, wait. This is Detroit pizza, and this
It's
is
an enchilada
mm,
that's been hit
this
by
is
a
St.
semi.
Louis pizza.
Now, if you're gonna have taco pizza actually does better on St. Louis style
Yes,
crust
yes, it
Listen.
than
does.
it does on anything else because of how
Super
hard it is.
thin crust.
Yeah,
Listen,
So-
ladies and gentlemen, this looks like a tombstone pizza.
exactly. That's what Tombstone is. I think Tombstone is a St. Louis style pizza.
I don't know. This looks pretty sad to me.
No,
Actually,
Adam,
like I
why
said,
do you
they're-
want that on your tombstone?
no.
I don't like the way the meat is curling.
No,
yeah.
that's old style
that's-
pepperoni.
That's normal.
Yeah, That's normal.
Pepperoni.
I like the glistening of fat that's just sort of all over the top of this with
It's when you
no
take a paper
real
towel and
crust.
dab it.
Wait,
It's like
why
a
is there
Steven
a
Spielberg
square in the
Alien
middle?
The
Planet.
topping to crust ratio is all messed up.
Because
On
it's
this
And there's
pizza.
a square in
Because the
the
entire
middle.
crust.
Jenna, it's crust. It's cut square style.
This is like
Oh,
a
yes.
large version of
my
a
God,
Lunchable
this-
pizza.
It's a round pizza cut square style.
This is
You
an
know what?
Oscar Mayer Lunchable, but big.
Hold on.
Yeah,
My
it is.
OCD
Once Skep
That's
mentioned
exactly
the
right, Harry.
once
That's
Skep
exactly
mentioned the
right.
curling of the meat, it's
Well, that's what pepperoni does when you.
no, but
like,
it's too uniform of a curling. It's
But don't waste basil.
off-putting.
Don't waste
I think I
It's
basil.
see a
like bunch of
face
red
in
condoms.
the curling.
that's not basil. That was peppers, I think. Those are green peppers, not basil.
I'd rather eat this. I'm not kidding.
Oh yeah.
No, you
There we
wouldn't.
go. There
I've
you
had
go.
that.
BYD pizza.
No, you wouldn't.
Is
At
that any
least it's
good?
got some. At least it's got crust, sort of.
Hey, you know what?
Have you had
hold
one
on,
of
hold on,
those?
hold
Yeah.
Because I have.
I have.
on,
and
hold
they're
on.
not that
If you
good.
look in,
They're
if you
not that
look in-
good, but this
if you
other
look
thing didn't
into-
look great either.
if you look into Chef Boyardee, he actually, at least he ran nice restaurants.
Yes, he
so
did.
I would trust that over that.
No, I'm that's
My kids love his SpaghettiOs and raviolis.
Well, now
Do
it's
not tell
so
my
good,
great
but-
grandmother.
no. It's Franco-American that makes SpaghettiOs. Hush your mouth. He
Yeah,
makes.
nowadays it's not so hot.
You know
but
what?
He does.
When you have to get out of the house and you have to feed kids.
No. I said it's Franco-American that does SpaghettiOs. Chef Boyardee did ravioli and beefaroni
Yep.
and a spaghetti thingy, but
Yeah,
SpaghettiOs
the
is
spaghetti. is
Franco-American.
Oh, well, we get the ravioli, Chef Boyardee ravioli.
So does
for
my
a quick
husband,
fix.
because as a kid he grew up eating hot dogs and then he'd have ravioli.
Oh,
Don't
dear.
We put spaghetti. We put.
he
hot
was a
dogs in
child. His
SpaghettiOs.
mother would get him to eat by giving
Look
him
at that.
hot
Look
dogs.
at
What
that little
the
bit of
hell is
deliciousness
that?
on the screen.
What the fuck?
What is
Yep.
that?
I
That
don't
is
know,
New,
man.
That's-
New Mexico style pizza.
Mhm.
That is
Take
not
one
pizza.
pre-baked 12-inch thin pizza crust. Take 1.5 cups of salsa verde,
Yep.
1 tablespoon of lime juice, a teaspoon of ground cumin,
Oh,
half a
jeez.
teaspoon of salt, a little bit of dried oregano, 2 cups of shredded cooked chicken breast,
I was right.
1/2 cup of frozen corn thawed, 3 green onions thinly sliced, 1/2 cup shredded reduced fat. Wait for it.
sour
cheddar
cream.
cheese.
Oh, cheddar.
Cheddar cheese. 2 tablespoons of minced fresh cilantro, very important, and a whole bunch of sour cream, and you have New Mexico.
Didn't I
style
say
pizza.
it was an enchilada that was run over by
Yeah.
a semi?
Yeah,
Hey,
of
where's
course.
Joe
really-
Biden?
That's
It's a
what
really
that
Yeah.
is.
fancy-
Pretty much that.
You
It's
know
like a
what's
really
sad?
fancy-
It's got the oregano in it, though.
Why would you? If it better be Mexican oregano, because if it's regular oregano, it's
Well, hold on. Would they use
I
oregano or would
guarantee
they
you-
use cilantro?
I guarantee
it is
you,
cilantro. Cilantro.
Oh.
Well, they use this is interesting because it's got cumin and cilantro in there.
Yes.
Well,
What?
cilantro is the plant part of cumin. Cumin is
no.
the seed.
No. It's
Or did I
cilantro.
have that wrong? What?
Yes. It's
what is
coriander.
cilantro? The
Coriander.
coriander. That's right, coriander. Okay, that's I was.
But
wrong.
isn't
All right, I was wrong.
isn't the cumin gonna just like neutralize out all the flavor on it? Isn't that what cumin does?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm not a
Ricky,
cook.
Cumin
Look,
has.
hey,
Hey, you want to have an existential crisis? Someone Google Korean pizza.
oh no,
No.
My God.
No.
Don't.
It's got eyeballs on it. You didn't
We-
know it does.
No, it doesn't. They put stuff like potatoes and corn and
what?
and seafood stuff on it. It's not like eyeballs. There's not like eyeballs looking at you.
might-
You
It
can
might-
get clam pizza in Boston.
Who thought
I'm
about
sorry.
This is
eyeballs?
taken to a new level.
Cumin is the one that damages your kidneys, isn't it?
Hey,
That's what I remember. That's what I remember about
Too
cumin
much
is-
of it, but you don't use a lot of cumin. It's in
That
curry
works out
powder. Cumin is a solid ingredient in curry.
I think it just stands the test that the Midwest and the Northeast has the best pizza in America.
Harry, what is
Elsewhere,
that picture?
you know, we'll
What?
find it, but I don't know about Florida.
There's Pizza Huts everywhere. I mean,
You know what?
you
Wherever
don't have to go to
Little
Chicago.
Caesars is
wherever Italians have landed, you're gonna find some pizza
That's a good point.
in a restaurant.
No, because that's not a pizza what you're seeing on your screen. That's
that's New
that's-
Mexico. That's New Mexico.
That's New Mexico.
That's New Mexico on your
It's
screen.
just as good.
It's
just as good.
It's alien and sad.
It's differently abled pizza.
No, it
It's
isn't.
sad.
This
Don't
is
be
Okay.
a pizzaist.
this is why Geodes hates living in New Mexico.
First of all,
Oh my god,
Say it
the
again.
rabbit is eating that poor child.
Which
No, it's Ether Bunny.
Cumin? which were
the disabled thing
How's
that differently abled.
differently.
There you go.
Sorry, I love that.
Sorry, kid, I'm
What
Ether
the
Bunny.
fuck?
He's
Isn't that-
Harry. He's got entire
Oh,
folders for weird
I
stuff.
love that.
You know the only.
Will you
thing
send
would
that
make
to me next time my
the
kids
only
act
thing-
up?
You know the only thing that would make that be better is if it said "Sorry, kid."
I'm the Ether Bunny.
Sorry, kid. I'm the Ether Bunny.
Sorry.
Ether
yeah.
Bunny goes, see.
Harry, will you send me that?
Sure.
I love it. Jenna screams,
wait,
"What the
wait."
fuck?"
Jenna's
and then
like,
she
"Hey,
says,
actually,
"Send it to me."
Yeah, could you
I'm
send
gonna
me to
show
me?
my kids this if they misbehave.
That's not a. I love you, Jenna.
Isn't she awesome? I mean, it's just like
Hey,
there's nothing Osmond about her.
Alexander, what was that? You went outside without permission? Well, here, look what will happen.
You know what's gonna happen?
The Ether Bunny's gonna come for him?
Yeah.
Right
It's like
outside.
Krampus, but
It gets a
springtime.
whole new meaning to "Good Night Moon," kid.
Yeah, really.
Hey,
Count
we have
backwards
tons
from
of little
100.
bunnies around us.
Why
But
am I
thought
not
your name
surprised?
was Dr. Lecter.
Dr. Letcher, I just didn't say it properly.
Okay, speaking of sickos, so why we're dealing with this humidity, James and I watched this thing on H.H. Home.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember if that's his name. Yeah, it's H.H. Holmes, right?
I don't know.
Is it
So
the
this
guy
is a-
who's like up in Canada, the big tall blonde dude who just goes to
No,
Holmes
it's
on
the guy
Holmes?
that had the castle in Chicago.
There was a castle in
H.H.
Chicago.
In the 1800s, early 19. No, I think he died before the. Yes, the serial killer came out.
The murder castle of H.H. Holmes is what you're talking
Oh,
about.
Yes.
okay, I know who you're talking about now. Okay.
So I don't believe he killed 200 people. I think he killed people, a lot of them, but I don't think he killed 200.
Gotta
How do
be
you know?
distinct.
That was my take from it.
Maybe it
have to
was
look it up.
217. It could have been 187.
And I think it's closer to like 30.
It's now
'Cause-
his murder castle is now the Inglewood Post Office, by the way.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's good.
learned that too.
Go and post it.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yes, that's kind of wonderful, isn't it?
It's just like
I have to tell you though,
mail
that was one sick
disappears.
dude.
Nobody's surprised.
Yeah.
He was a sick dude,
You think?
Yeah, it's probably-
and boy did he like to marry people.
That wasn't uncommon back then.
That's
Well,
not the
He
only
common
didn't
now.
necessarily get divorced or become a widower. He just
Once again, I state that's not uncommon even now.
I was in Home Depot yesterday, ordering blinds for the windows. Shade, not shades, like cellular shades. And that sweet young guy that was in there working, just a lovely, lovely young man. Former military is my guess based on his haircut and the fact that he got my joke about things being users, like IT people will do things, but they'll never talk to the end user to see like what they need things to do. And so you basically end up with M14 ammo for your M16. And his first question to me was, "Were you in the military?" And I was like, "Oh, please don't tell me that happened to you." But I had to come around and look over his shoulder for something. And I can't exactly remember what started this, but Cree made some comment. And I looked back at him and he said, "Okay, I'm shutting up now." And the guy said, "You don't have to shut up for me." And I said, "Yes, but he does for me." And without missing a beat, this kid said, "And this is why I'm not married." And I was like, "Congratulations." Because he's a self-proclaimed introvert. I said, "You have very good timing for an introvert." That was apropos of absolutely nothing while Harry rooted around for memes.
Yeah.
I just thought you were like, and he seemed like his serial killer that would have trapdoors.
No, I
in
was
his-
going to get off the serial killer shit. Oh my God, pineapple on pizza. Oh, that is so gross. Look at the kid. Oh, it's great.
Well, Prospero's been gone, so she hasn't seen a bunch of these.
Oh yeah.
But there's a couple from while you were gone. I particularly like this one.
I do too.
Yes.
I've seen that, and the dog. The
One of
dog
my
is like,
favorite things
"Fuck
ever.
you and your sign, buddy." You know, it's like,
I love that
I'm
so
just-
much.
I'm just being a dog.
I'll sit on this
This-
side and lean on your side. Oh, what a fabulous photograph too.
Every libertarian would love that sign.
Yeah, we don't really
Love that-
need to
love that
scamper 30 yards on the other side. We just don't like your sign.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I would walk
Technically-
across with my dog just to do it.
Oh yeah.
His tail is on the right side of the sign, so he's following the rules.
He's genuinely a libertarian dog then, because that is the kind of thing. I have my pinky toe where you said I shouldn't walk past. That
Yeah,
means
he's-
I'm not past it.
In the limits. Come on now, he's a rule breaker.
Yeah,
Well, you never know. It may be a sovereign dog, and he's just traveling.
That's
Whoa.
it.
Yeah.
He's only covered by maritime law.
Like-
Put a little navy cap on him. I mean, it would just be absolutely great.
I was
Sovereign dog.
traveling. I was not walking beyond the point. I was traveling it.
He's a salty tar. He is. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh, that's
So
splendid.
anyway, just to shift the conversation just a bit, pivot just a bit, I heard something on the interwebs today that made a lot of sense to me
Uh-oh.
about political things.
Ooh.
And
Ugh.
I think there is skullduggery afoot to dump Joe Biden, have him not be the Democrat candidate, and have Gavin Newsom run for president. And guess who his vice presidential nominee, and I'm not kidding about this, is going to be?
Were they serious about Lori Lightfoot?
No.
Oh,
they
thank
weren't.
God.
That was something.
Okay.
I was going to bring this up earlier, and the Lori Lightfoot joke occurred to me, and I said, "Oh, we'll just branch off and do that because
His
it's my show."
VP.
But no. This really is being bandied about, and they're actually starting to fundraise for it.
Is it a serious human?
It is a serious human. It's Kamala Harris.
No.
She is going to run for vice president again
No.
with Gavin Newsom running on the top of the ticket, and
So,
But
he
she's
has
not
got
even
a bunch of
popular.
money people convinced, evidently, that he can win. You laugh. He's governor of California.
He did
I
win
know.
the runoff, or not the runoff, but the
The recall.
the
recall.
yeah.
that's
Just
because
because California's
Well,
stupid
team-
enough to vote for the idiot doesn't mean the rest of the country is.
no, but and also California Republicans just couldn't
But he's
help
he's
themselves. They couldn't
he's
help
a popular
themselves.
figurehead.
They had.
I don't
they-
know about Kamala though.
He's actually an excellent politician.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
very good at what he does because he's sold the people of California a complete bill of goods. He's
Oh, yeah.
a sack of shit as a human being, but he's a great campaign.
You remember the movie The Candidate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
he's the polished.
He is kind of
Yeah.
he is that urbane.
Yeah,
you know,
Redford was
pol-
more interesting.
Yeah,
But they,
smarter.
yeah, even though he's much to the left heart as Gavin. Yeah, he could win because, like I said, I'm not shitting you. Soccer moms, he's dreamy.
Yeah, and he knows how to appeal to
Oh,
the right
did-
people.
He knows how to schmooze. He knows how to lie really well. He's an
Yeah.
extremely good liar.
And if they have enough of the control of the counting of the votes,
Again,
who
yes.
knows what could happen?
Again,
Ugh.
absolutely.
I can't.
Especially if the Republicans suicide, which they're highly likely to do.
It's what they do
They're very
best.
good at
It's,
that.
it's kind of a tradition. Harry and I with the same joke at the
Yeah,
same
Yeah,
it's like the 49ers. There's no lead so great that the 49ers can't lose a game.
Now, ask the Falcons about that.
Oh, same with the San Francisco Giants. I mean, because
Yeah.
when it comes to throwing away a lead, you can't. I was going to say that Gavin Newsom is like a 15-year-old boy who acts really sad so that a girl will let him touch her boob. I mean, that's basically what he is. He just manipulates people. He didn't win because he did a good job. He won because in the recall, he convinced everybody that if he didn't win, Trump won.
Yes.
And we couldn't have that. That was his
That
whole
is
platform. We
You know
can't
what-
let the Republicans
you know
win.
what he is? He's the American version of Emmanuel Macron.
Ooh.
But anyway,
Macron, honestly, I think
Frenchie.
has more substance. Seriously. I mean, I think Macron is smarter.
Yeah, but everything that got Macron into office was a lie. All of it was a lie. He
Well,
was
that
part
part,
of the
yeah.
previous.
that's a French tradition.
He was part of the previous administration, yet he
De Gaulle
ran
started that.
as if he were an outsider. I mean, it was an amazing bit of leisure domain that
Would you call it De Gaullian?
Oh yeah. Well, the French do politics so well. It's why they've had. It's why they had one revolution and 5 republics. Well, they actually had 3 revolutions and 5 republics. And when they celebrated 200 years of independence, they basically could count maybe 14 of those years that they weren't occupied, fucked up, or under the control of somebody like de Gaulle.
Yeah.
Or at war with someone,
Yeah.
usually Germany.
Napoleon and all the other things that have befallen France, weak kings, the revolution, Napoleon, and just war after war after war. because-
Self-inflicted injury too. I mean, the
Well,
constant.
France is the prime real estate of Europe.
Yeah, it
just is. It's got enough of itself far enough south where it's not as cold as Germany, and it's just made for growing things. It's just an agricultural.
If the
frickin'
English
paradise.
could have held on to it, I mean, if the
Well, they never had it.
no, they only
they
had
sort
part.
of had it for a while.
They only
Yeah,
had
they-
part of it, and
And
the
they had the Angevin side and a little bit of Brittany.
yeah. But if they could have held on to that, at least there would have been some francophones who would not have had to deal with the other shit.
Yeah. Good point.
That's the pity about France. I have had said to me on several occasions by people who have spent a great deal of time there, is the French are a great deal like us in how they think. By and large, I'm not talking about Parisians, but the French in general. They really did kind of like the ideas of liberty and some of that, and being left the fuck alone. And they just keep getting fucked by Paris and some of the other big cities.
Parisians believe that they are the only Frenchmen,
Yes.
and the Frenchmen dans le pays in places that are not named Paris
Yes.
despise the Parisians because that's just what French people do.
Well, the Parisians are like Germans. I mean, they're just annoying.
Interesting. Yeah, I know. I know
Quote
what you're
tweet
saying.
that for.
They're also
Prospero.
very legalistic and annoying and bureaucratic, and it's the Sorbonne with its language police.
Fussy.
And yeah, they're like, the problem with Germany is a bunch of fussy bureaucrats. It's like gay hairdressers, you know. They're just fussy about everything. Fussy, one kick, two, boom, you know. Paris ought to be in Germany. And they can have Strasbourg too, sadly, I mean, as
Yeah. Hey,
pretty as the town
Harry,
is.
Yes, sir.
Harry, you're putting misinformation up there. French do stink, and they are rude. I have numerous anecdotal testimonies to this, and have witnessed this for years of my upbringing.
Mhm.
They do stink. They are rude, and they smoke a lot. Yes,
Well, this
they
is
do.
French propaganda. I don't believe any of this,
Well, what's funny is a friend of
except for the
mine
negative parts.
spent a year
Hold on.
in college
do
in
they
Paris,
really-
and
Do they really watch a lot of Jerry Lewis films?
Le Grand Buffoon, yes, Jerry
Yeah.
Lewis. Jerry Lewis
love-
they love
him.
Jerry Lewis.
They're crazy for Jerry Lewis.
They
One
love
second.
Jerry Lewis like the Germans love Hasselhoff.
That's a stupid Parisians again.
I've never seen
He's a
Eurovision, but it sounds
genius.
like a hoot.
Hold on. So, in our good neighbors to the north, do the Quebecians like Jerry Lewis too, or
Don't
do they
know.
only like him halfway? Like,
I mean, the Quebecois.
yeah,
Yeah.
they only watch him every other day.
Not that I know of. But remember, the French don't like the Quebecois because the Quebecois are pretend French.
Well, anyway, getting back to my original train of thought here.
Okay.
So, if you get Newsom and Kamala Harris
Jesus, we're done.
running against
Oh, no.
Trump, I think Newsom and Harris could win.
Yes.
I really do.
Now,
Because
if
I
you
think
had them
there's
running
enough-
against DeSantis, they'd stand a
DeSantis thing
chance.
would wipe them out, but
Yeah.
DeSantis won't run if Trump is going to run.
No,
He
and
will
Trump
not
wants
run.
to run because he can't
Yep.
shut his ego
because
up.
his ego is out of control.
Yeah, I mean, look, I enjoyed Trump because he was so memeable, and
Well, he made a lot of the people we despise cringe.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's always a happy making
he
thing.
infuriated all the right people. He pissed off the New York Times and the Washington Post, which makes them actually reveal their true colors, which they did. And then after the election, all they're cooked up. You know, they tried to impeach him twice, and now they want to claim that it created the equivalent of the Spanish Civil War, which is absolutely ludicrous.
They just sling stuff against the wall.
Absolutely.
See if something
It's just
sticks. That's all
ludicrous.
they do. Now, listen, as a libertarian,
Well, they're Marxists.
I'm not
They're
a
not
big,
very bright.
I agree. But as a libertarian, I'm not very fond of Trump's policy. I thought he did a couple of things right in foreign relations, and his domestic programs were nothing. They were garbage. And he didn't cut the budget. He I'm a little bit of a deficit hawk because I'd like to have my currency back. And he
You're
did
cute.
He did nothing. He didn't. I know. They're cute when they still have hope, aren't they?
Yes.
He absolutely played to his ego the whole time. Now, in some things, when you're pushing around North Korean dictators in China, that had some positive effects. At least they were, he certainly kept them off balance, and he was they didn't really know how to deal with him.
Yeah,
Biden
he
is a
frightened
wholly
them.
owned subsidiary of China, as is Kamala Harris, and they will, God,
It's-
Carrie, dude,
Remember.
that hurts. That hurts.
At least they're smarter. And
This is the one I'm slightly afraid of.
Yeah, well, no, and that's another thing that I've heard people talk about is Michelle Obama running, but I get the feeling she doesn't want to.
No. I don't think. I really don't think she took to politics all that well. She did perfectly fine as first lady. Okay, I mean, it was kind of an odd role for her
Yeah.
because in many ways she's more personable than her husband. She's certainly a better public speaker. But Shorty on the left is so mentally unstable at this point. I don't think it would work.
Michelle
Prospero?
brings the big
Nobody
dick
likes
energy
her.
to the
Don't
ticket.
insult
Yeah.
the black
What else?
snake.
What do those two ladies have in common?
George Soros. I'm sorry, what?
No, they both failed the bar exam the first time they took it.
Yeah, well, that a lot of people do. But
Amy Coney Barrett didn't.
no,
Just
she
saying.
didn't. No, she didn't.
Kamala Harris did.
Did she take the New York bar? Well, neither of them did take the New York bar. Michelle took the
She took
Illinois,
the
and
a couple of times.
Hillary took the Connecticut, or did she take the New
No,
York?
she took the Arkansas bar. That's the one she passed.
Oh.
The one she failed was the Washington, D.C. bar, which she took first, and she never told anyone. You will not find that on
I
the
think
interwebs.
that's
That's a
funny.
relatively recent development.
I think that's funny. And there was my daddy who not only passed the Virginia bar, but the Florida bar.
Two of the toughest bars in the United States.
Wow.
Which, admittedly, Washington, D.C. bar has a tough reputation also. But Arkansas, not so much.
A lot of people who failed the Virginia bar would go to West Virginia. Sorry, Serenity. Because there was reciprocity.
Jesus.
And it was easier to pass the West Virginia bar.
You know why Virginia's bar is so hard?
Well, it's a...
No, it's three letters. UVA. It's one of the best law schools in the United States. One of the best law schools really in the world. And people don't know that.
It is a good law
UVA
school.
is a powerhouse law school. And
for international,
and all
particularly.
All the law schools in Virginia really are really superior. Really, truly superior.
My dad went to T.C. Williams, and they were known as being extremely good for practicing law in Virginia because they did a very good job in instructing in Virginia law, where UVA was kind of known for international law, as was American University in D.C. And Georgetown, I think, was more general practice, where American may have been more, leaning toward international. But I knew that there was kind of, and then you had with down at not with was it? God damn it! What's the law school? I'm blanking on William and Mary's law school.
Oh, I forget what it is. And my best friend's wife graduated from there.
Is it it's with Marshall? Maybe.
Anyway, but
anyway, nobody cares.
The ranking within Virginia is University of Virginia, Washington Lee is second, William and Mary third, George Mason fourth, University of Richmond, Appalachian Liberty. I mean, there are a ton of good schools.
They listed as University of Richmond. That's sad, because it always
just an article.
It always stood alone. No, I meant T.C. Williams School of Law.
Yeah, they're not
at
using
the University of Richmond.
Yeah, no, they're just
University of Richmond School of Law, T.C. Williams. Yeah, they're doing that with a lot of colleges, though. If you notice, they're going for their main name and then dropping the other stuff in, because Medical College of Virginia is now Virginia Commonwealth University Medical College of Virginia.
I wanted to point one thing out about University of Virginia. What do you think their bar passage rate is?
60%.
99.4.
Really? They get that many through?
Yeah. See, virtually everyone passes the bar first time.
That makes me suspicious.
Are you sure that's first time? I mean, as
Um,
opposed to just overall bar passage rate?
That is.
'Cause
That
that
make-
is a tall...
That makes me
Yeah.
highly suspicious.
That's just unbelievably good.
Let me. I know that is. I was thinking about that too. I was looking down through these other ones like Washington Lee, 86, which I would believe William and Mary 84. I'm trying to find the.
William and Mary Law School. I mean, I hate to say it.
I'm on LSAT Max, by the way. That's where I'm finding this information.
Yeah, I mean, years ago, they were not. The person I knew who could not pass the Virginia bar went to William and Mary Law School. But they tried 3 times in Virginia and didn't pass, which is why they went to West Virginia and took the bar there. Which I didn't think spoke particularly well of their having even been accepted into a law school.
Oh, passed within 2 years. Okay, so that's multiple attempts. You're right, Harry. That is multiple attempts.
That makes more sense.
Mhm.
Yep, passed within 2 years. All right, deep in the footnotes. There it is. Okay. I wonder how often they give it.
Well, as comprehensive as that exam is, I can't imagine they give it.
As I understand it, the tough part is getting people to grade it.
Yeah,
It's hard to get.
was time
It's hard to
consuming,
get qualified people to grade it. Yeah, you have to be trained to do that.
and also time consuming.
Yeah.
Because it's not. It's not like the CPA exam that is taken in different chunks. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
not a
CPA is, it has 6 divisions, and you can take
Right.
one of them at a time.
yes,
Come on, man.
where you have
You
to
can,
sit.
you can take 5 years to pass the exam.
Well, but you have to sit the whole bar. You know where you.
Yeah, you get
Yeah, you don't
law
get.
school. You get 2 days of hell,
Mhm.
and you either have a career or you're a legal researcher.
Until you take the bar again.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you pass the bar, you have a career in law. If you
Mhm.
don't, you can
You wait
research
till
in
the
law
next.
library.
Yeah, the next time.
Wait for the next time
Mhm,
around.
yeah.
Exactly.
The
I think that I think that's about to change. I think the way that we train lawyers is going to change because so much of what they learn in the law school basics does not prepare them for their career. And the
Mhm.
careers are getting more and more complicated. There's more and more material.
they're getting more
I
niche too.
Yeah, I think that they'll stop doing this general law thing and start
Specializing.
I think law schools will divide up their curriculum, and you'll get we'll become a little bit more like Britain, where for this type of a thing you need this type of a lawyer.
Mhm.
We already kind of do that anyway.
Barrister, solicitor system.
Barrister, solicitor
Yeah.
type system.
Criminal,
but it might even
criminal,
have
civil.
more.
Yeah, with even more division where
Could-
you have business law versus.
Exactly. And if you want to be a real estate lawyer, you go to a real estate law school and
Mhm.
so forth.
What if you want to do
So-
wills, titles, trusts, adoptions?
Can you
General
imagine being in
all-purpose
real
civil
estate
law.
law?
I would slit my throat.
Oh my God. It
It's
is
so
just
boring.
It is. It makes accounting look like a thrill a minute.
I want to be an actuary when I grow up, Mom. Why don't you just run in front of a bus now, Skipper?
Well, at least with the actuary, at least you get cool math.
Yeah, and then all you
Awesome math, really.
Yeah, but then all you do is just tell people how long they're going to live. I mean, it used to be one of those dreaded careers.
That's a good point. I wonder what my over/under date is
Oh, God damn it.
for dying.
How cheerful. That's a terrible picture. Make it stop.
This one? Of all these fine candidates?
That looks like The Rock.
It does, doesn't it?
The Rock.
This
It
is
does.
from a Vanity
Oh,
Fair
yeah.
thing from March. Back when Biden was practically soaring in the polls
They
compared
should
to
make
now.
that picture not look like The Rock because he would not want to be in that group.
Yeah. Go back to the bird.
Sitting on the no bird sign.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yes.
Libertarian bird says, "Bite me."
It's a pity we didn't. Well, see, it would be truly libertarian bird if we caught him in mid plurp.
Yeah. You're not the boss of me.
Yeah, but he's also a gull, which means all he is a rat with wings.
Ooh.
Pigeons are winged land. Okay, they fly, but they don't fly a lot like gulls do. So they're limited range winged rats, where these are more the long range bomber version of the winged rats, or the assault rat.
Yeah.
Assault winged rat.
So the long range government spies.
Oh, that's it. Gulls are glowies.
Yeah. Because
What?
aren't pigeons spies, right? Isn't that what they say?
They might as well be.
Yeah.
They're like it's kind of like the classic British spy novel of some portly fellow sitting on the bench and pulling out his quizzing glass and the crow cocks at midnight. What? The cock crows at midnight.
Do you know I'm going to die on Thursday, the 14th of June, the year 2040.
Sounds like a plan.
Flag Day?
So I have 6,539 days, 11 hours, 2 minutes, and 49
Who calculated this, Aristotle?
No, I just went to Death Clock. I love this site.
Oh, you're sick.
Death Clock is fun.
I have never been to Death Clock. I guess I'm gonna have to look. It's probably gonna tell me I was supposed to die last week.
Death-clock.org.
You're terrible.
It's great fun. It's great fun. Do you know who? The other thing I looked up while you guys were talking was, you know who put the "Sorry Kid, I'm the Ether Bunny" into circulation?
Mm-hmm.
Was the comedian Lorraine Newman.
Was it really?
Yep.
Good.
She thought it was funny, and she just put it out there. Yep.
I like
She's
Lorraine Newman.
Awesome.
I do too. It's excellent. Excellent stuff.
Groovy chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highly underrated. I mean, people always forgot about her, or
That's
often
right.
forgot about her, but she was really good.
She was founding member of the Groundlings, original cast member of Saturday Night Live, cellulite model, raver who lives for the drop. She's still making fun of herself.
I don't
What
even
did I
know
miss,
what my
kids?
I don't even know what my BMI is. God damn.
Oh, you're there, aren't you? You're looking at that BMI stuff.
Yeah.
Is
What
fudge
did
an
I
option?
miss? I had to deal with my kids.
BMI is fudge.
What'd you miss? Well, now it's
That's like one of those memes that I can't show. Like the one that says my favorite color is ham.
There's ham. Yes. That is so funny. That still is one of the funniest lines I've heard recently.
We can't show
Favorite
that,
color is ham.
because that would be
No, we
wrong.
can't. That would be wrong, and we don't want to get in trouble because we respect the system.
Yeah.
We do what we're supposed to do. So, at any rate, well, let's see what is going on in chat at this point. Are we?
Have we lost them?
Assassin says the pigeons are plague carriers. Okay.
Among other things, yes.
And gulls are glowy. And let's see.
Did I miss a conversation about birds?
Sort of.
Yay.
Oh my
I hate
God.
her.
That's terrible.
I did enjoy Assassin's comment. He said the only good Frenchman is one with English arrows sticking out of him. Oh, that sounds like he came out of a Sharon K. Penman novel. That's excellent.
I'm up shit creek. I'm gonna be dead in about 4 years.
Oh shit!
Huh?
Yeah, I'm supposed to die on Thursday, the 16th of July in 2026.
Who said?
26.
I'll
Who
make it to
said?
I'll make it to 68.
But who said you are dying on that specific date?
The
Death clock.
website. So that's how we know. That's how we know it's true. It's
That's how
on
we
a
know it's
website.
true.
It's on the interweb. It's the
Wait, I
internet.
want to know when I'm gonna die.
No, you don't.
No.
You don't
No.
want to. Yeah, no.
You're pretty well already in negative territory.
Jenna, if you want
You
to
are
sleep
on-
tonight, just
You
Don't.
got granted an extra
do it.
life, is what happened to you.
Yeah, you've already done it once, so you're
Yeah.
done. You're good.
I already died,
good.
so
You already
you know.
died,
Yeah.
so you don't need to do it again.
You would break the death clock.
Oh yes, she would.
Well, I died
She
more
would
than
break-
once.
Exactly.
You're about 40 cats in about now. So yeah, I think
Yeah, there's your several cats.
Yeah.
Well,
several cats, and each of those cats have dune buggies.
Been to the afterlife so many times she got frequent flyer miles for it.
dude, she didn't get a planet, she got a galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
she said I could come and live on her planet.
don't think I didn't bargain. All right, if I stay dead, all right, I get this and that. But if I go back and do another thing, what do I get? You didn't know you couldn't bargain with Heavenly Father?
Yeah,
Well, they
I
didn't
wouldn't-
mention it in the Bible, so I missed it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you'd want to. And I think it was a good idea to try and bargain with the phone. didn't know
If
that was good
if
to
I
do.
stay alive and deal with all this pain,
yeah.
what's my take?
I thought you were going to
guess it would
say,
be
what's
my
in it
take.
for me?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if I could.
You're not a Calvinist, so I won't give you their answer because you just go outside, walk into the ocean.
Yeah.
You should just be grateful.
which all Calvinists should do.
Well, I know.
And take their uncomfortable church pews with them.
Amen.
That's the difference between Presbyterians and Calvinists. They at least put cushions on the
Yeah.
pews.
Presbyterians are like Reformed Calvinists.
And they got over the Westminster Confession, so
Oh,
That's fair
the
enough.
only reason they could get me to join. I was like, what happened to the doctrine of predestination? We did it. Okay, good. I'm in.
yeah, that's what. That everything that happens to you is already. Well, I know for a fact my accident was an accident. So
But see, that's my problem.
ya.
What motivation would I have to be good if everything is preordained?
yeah,
You're kind of ruining the notion of motivation to enter heaven.
I know.
If you say, well, it's already there, you just don't know it, but nothing you do can change it. Well, then why am I
You know,
trying?
I
mean,
always thought that was an interesting thing from Jesus Christ Superstar.
yeah.
Judas says that to Christ when he's yelling at him, when he's
Uh-huh.
about to betray him. He says, "You want me to do it? You know,
Yes.
you knew I was going to do it. You want me to do it, you liar." You know, and he finally says what lots of Christians probably have thought themselves. You know, what the fuck is this all about anyway? But the real question is, if God showed up, how would you know he was God? If some guy came cruising into your office, normal looking guy, and said, "I'm God," how would you verify that?
Yeah,
Well,
sure you are, buddy.
Skep, do you believe they're one holy trinity or they're three different people?
No,
Neither.
I don't believe any of that. It's just that's not what my belief is. I don't.
If you see the
I
dude
believe-
in the business suit in triplicate, then apparently it's the Trinity.
Yeah, if it looks like Al Pacino, that's not God. But seriously, how would you tell it was God?
I'd be like, oh, nice to see you on this side.
Okay. Well, it's an interesting
But
thing.
why would
Not having died, we neither Skep nor I could say yet.
It seems like we would have known God before we were born.
well, we would have.
Well, how come I can't remember?
But were we ignorant? Yeah.
Why can't you remember
being born?
being
Yeah,
an
before I
infant?
was born.
No, I mean, why don't you remember being born?
Yeah,
Same-
or even before
Same
that.
reason.
Why don't I remember hanging out with God?
You didn't have the proper.
Because you have free will and you don't have, and free will gives, part of that is you don't have sure knowledge, you have faith.
Well, hold on.
Faith and sure knowledge are two different things.
With the early
Sure.
memory, the one thing that I've always puzzled on the early memory question is, were you to ask that to somebody who is younger, would they remember when they were born, as opposed to somebody who is older and they may have just forgotten because it's been so long?
I have no recollection of entering the light.
Well, no, because
I used to think
There's-
some really weird shit when I was young, Adam. I mean, like literally staying awake contemplating infinity.
I'm not talking about even just like
Our
the moment of
childhoods were so
the
soon.
moment you pop out, right? I'm talking about like even just like when you're sitting in the crib staring up into the fucking ceiling, you're a baby,
Yeah.
Do you have any of those memories and they just go away because they're just
I
overwritten
believe
with
they do.
other memories?
There's a thing that I remember from when I was a kid. I remember this toy, and it was like a little wooden car thing. And for the life of me, and I remember sort of playing with my dad with this thing. And it was just like this very simple wooden car thing that was multicolored for kids. And you would just sort of push it. You wouldn't sit in or anything. It was just like, the size of a shoebox. And I remember this thing, and for the longest time I didn't know if it was an imagined memory or what it was. I was going through some photo albums a few years ago when I was sort of cleaning out my family house. And I actually found a picture of me playing with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
After
Wow.
decades of not being able to remember if that was a real memory or not, I found a picture of me with my dad playing with that toy.
That's
So do you think
awesome.
And I've
Instead of-
never seen that picture before.
Yeah.
Do you
That's
think that
amazing.
was? Did you think instead of a memory that was just like a dream? Because there's some things that I have where I'm thinking it's a dream, but then the same thing is like all of a sudden, oh shit, yeah, that actually was real.
I have one of those. There was something I remember, and it's not interesting, so I'm not going to tell the story, but there's definitely a very dreamlike memory that I have involving my grandmother and my mother, which I'm still to this day not sure it was a real thing. So I do need to go back and maybe try to see if I can figure that out. But I can tell you that my earliest clear memory was the first moon landing. And I was pretty young for that. But it was such a huge event that it was almost impossible not to have it make a big
Mhm.
impression.
Yeah.
Because
was-
the tension in the room, I was like sitting like a few feet from the TV set,
Mhm.
which was like this
Mhm.
20-inch zenith thing, like the big CRT. And I remember that. I
Well-
remember the excitement of everybody being in the room. I know it didn't entirely make complete sense, but I do clearly remember that day. And I'm pretty sure that
You
it's a
were
real
about-
memory.
You were about 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a memory. I was born in June, so this was late February of the year I turned 3. So I was 2 and change. Good chunk of change. I was a flower girl in a wedding. And you're talking about tension in a room
Mhm.
and so much focus and so much event. I have flashes of memory of that. I have a couple flashes of memory of standing at the foot of my crib, because I slept in my crib until I was 3, because it was long and wide, and so I hadn't outgrown it in height to go into a twin bed yet. Standing at the foot of the crib, calling to my parents, because there was a thing I did when I was little where I would call Mamia Papia. Don't ask me why. All my imaginary friends had Latin sounding names too. It's probably why I took to Spanish so well. But but little bits, flickers. There's no picture of me standing at the foot of my crib doing that. And no picture of what I remember in the wedding. But I remember it because I had a very knee-eye view of the world, being a little flower girl. So it was just this row after row after row of people. Basically, their legs, is all I saw. And I'm not sure whether I remember it or I had too much told to me. Yeah, Alan Shepard going into space, which was a little later.
Mm-hmm.
That same year, 61.
Oh. Man, I was a little kid in Belgium that year.
Well, yeah, because you have a few years on me, not a lot, but a few.
Many, yeah.
And that makes the difference there. But and of course we were in Florida, so the focus on the space program was pretty intense, being, not all that far north of Canaveral.
I had wanted to see the moon landing so badly, and I was working my job, my first Social Security job, for the first time the government ever stole from me.
Uh-huh.
At Route 1 Shell, at Route 1 and the Beltway, the old internal Beltway now, at Washington, D.C. Station has long disappeared, but and I remember I was pumping gas, during the time they were landing. We had had the radio on in the office, and but I was out working. Oh, I was working on a car. I was doing a tune-up on a car, and came time to quit. I blazed home as soon as I could, and went over to my friend Tim May's house, and we spent the evening together. We watched that and played with his neon sign transformer while we watched Neil Armstrong traipse around the moon. That was amazing.
I was supposed to get in camp the next day, and of course I'd been awake for the LEM landing, but Armstrong hitting the deck took place in the wee hours on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And we went over to our next door neighbor's house. They invited us over to all watch it together, and which is the kind of thing people did with the launches. When there were major space events, people would get together and watch them. It was pretty impressive. And I got excused from going to camp the next morning because my parents knew I was going to be up wicked late, which they basically, I think, probably had to nudge me awake at some point because I'd been at camp that day and running around like a lunatic, and then because I was 5th grade, going to 6th next year or something like that. So I was 11, just a little young for staying up quite that late. But a kick in the shins will get you eyes open and sitting right back up again. and it worked. I still have a rocking chair that was in that room. It was my neighbor's rocking chair, and they gave it to us, and I don't have room over here for it. And it kind of makes me sad because I always kind of think of it as the moon landing rocking chair.
Yes.
Isn't that weird? But we
Mhm.
we make these associations with people.
Yeah, nomenclature. We do this. So,
Great day in the morning.
yeah,
It's 1:45.
one of the things that I would like to see gone from my world is this Karine Jean-Pierre, the press secretary for Joe Biden.
Oh,
I wanted to make a mention about this. I mean, we could probably do a whole show on what affirmative action is. But what you have there, in my opinion, is somebody who has been an affirmative action person all the way through. And the problem with affirmative action, saying that we'll take someone who is qualified at a minimum level or at some minimum level, as opposed to taking the best of all of the applicants for a job, is you don't get as high a quality an employee. The best person for a job and a person who has some immutable characteristic but is capable of qualifying in some minimal way for the job or some other way are probably not the same person. And I just was looking through the roster of shame of this administration, of looking at that crazy. Uh, I can't even call her an admiral, but that Rachel, whatever the hell her name is, who's the assistant HHS secretary, and that wacko in the uh, Atomic Energy Agency, who people who are there for their just to display their immutable characteristics, just for a glory shot for the Biden administration. It just pisses me off. They shouldn't be doing that with our country. We should be getting the best people in every job. And I know the Republicans, have similar corruptions, uh, uh, but it doesn't make it right. Anyway, she was up doing her usual less than competent job of defending the indefensible, and I just lost it today a little bit.
I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't.
Well, I mean, she took the job, she's taking the money, and she's cashing the check. So yes,
Bingo.
yes and no. I don't feel bad for her, but there's a bill of goods being sold a large number of people these days, and it's been sold to a lot of people for, I don't know, Skep, since before Baki. If you think about it, we've watched this, but it's gotten increasingly worse. Why I feel sorry for her is no one looks at her and says, there's Karine. Everyone looks at her and says, there's the black lesbian.
Right.
And she knows it.
And she knows it. She sold her soul to the company store for this, apparently.
Yep.
Now, when people are easily persuaded with certain things that stroke their egos, and I do worry down the road, both with millennials that are having this done to them and youngish women like Karine, where that's going to leave them in 20 years or 40.
Incompetent, unable.
Feeling about themselves, though.
Yeah, dissatisfied.
Feeling about
I know where you're
themselves.
going. I know
And
where you're going.
I don't believe that we owe it to people to affirm their I don't need to it's not my job on this earth to affirm everybody's individuality and glory in their uniqueness and marvel at them. I am not supposed to be nurturing the world in that regard. But we're disrespecting people. We're disrespecting them through a system of labeling. And it's grotesque. To me, it's grotesque to see people as a statistic. It's grotesque when we're concocting words like Latinx. That's just insulting.
Or to see somebody like Corinne Jean-Pierre just so nakedly used.
Yes, it was gross. I mean,
Yeah.
the
I get you.
redheaded Marxist introduces her, Midwit Midge, basically introduces her as, look at our token.
A redheaded Marxist.
We brought our
Okay, okay.
token. See the token? Dance token.
Jeez, don't. Okay.
But it's like a marionette show.
Yeah.
The sad thing is they don't usually know. They are so arrogant in their own ability, which they have none of, that they don't know they're being used.
Yeah, they've been told they're good for a long time. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
so she
Serenity.
has no idea.
That's a good point.
Participation trophies. I blame participation.
It's not just participation trophies. It's much deeper than that.
Existence
I know it's
trophies.
much deeper, but it starts with the simple thing of there can't be a winner. There has to be.
No, it starts
everybody
with racially
tried.
stereotyping people, Jenna. Sexually stereotyping them, racially stereotyping them. This is straight out stereotyping. And
Which
then
is wrong. I will tell you,
add
I
the
didn't know she was a
participation
lesbian.
trophies. Yeah, like who gave a shit?
Yeah.
I don't give a crap whether she's a
not my
MotZ or
business.
not. I mean, it has nothing to do with her capability as a press secretary, whether she is a carpet cruncher or whether she likes to pole dance. It doesn't matter to me. Why should it?
It shouldn't, but
I don't
all
want
of a
to know.
sudden,
know,
it
that's-
does.
Any of these
that's a-
things. I don't want to
Unless
know
you're
what
straight.
people screw, and I don't want to know what they eat. I don't know what restaurants they like, and I don't even want to know where they go to vacation. Just go out and do your goddamn job.
You know, that's actually a great point. Is that when did it become in vogue to all talk about who we love to sleep with? When did that happen?
It just because it
It never happened to me.
2015.
It became important to have gay friends, and then it became important to have lesbian friends, and it became important to have bi friends, and then it became oh my god! It's like now we have to have true two-spirit tap dancing.
Well, don't you think that it
pansexual friends
sense to have a little bit of distance, a little bit of
Yes.
reserve between people? Once you get to know somebody better and you become friends with them, yeah, you learn a little bit about them, and you'll learn who their significant other is, and you
Oh,
go
how
from there.
nice.
But this business of knowing total strangers, knowing who they like to sleep with, that just strikes me as odd and not particularly useful.
People think the 50s were repressed. No, not particularly. People just didn't talk about bodily fluid exchange.
Yeah.
On the routine, the way they do now. And what you fantasized about and fetishized about and that kind of, no one cared. Everybody knew. There was that guy down the street
What happened in the bedroom stayed in the bedroom.
who had a thing for women's feet, okay? They knew about it. They didn't talk about it. They talked about it at the grocery store when they ran into each other, just that kind of thing. But it wasn't part of the job application. Now it's part of your job application.
It really is.
You're not a good enough person if you don't have something special about what you do when you get off. Really?
Yeah.
So-
I think if I was applying for a job, I would be gay.
I think
If I
I
was
put myself
applying-
down as gay.
I'm a Mozart sexual. I can only come when I'm hearing, I mean, what the?
If I was applying for a job, I would put comes back from the dead.
You're a necrosexual. You fuck death.
Well, that turned around quick.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, I've been incredibly coarse, and I apologize for that. But I'm absolutely sick of knowing as much about people as I do. I never wanted you. Remember when we used to say, "Oh God," you cringe when someone would say, "Can I share? Do you mind if I share?"
Mhm.
Oh God, please don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the presumption, and it's usually correct, is that it's going to be oversharing.
Yes.
And
Now it's an
but
EEOC
I'm loving.
requirement.
I'm kind of loving what Chad is talking about. They're talking about, is it Latinx, Latinx?
I asked a genuine person of that kind
Human
of derivation the other day. What do you think of the word Latinx? Just out of the blue. Asked him. He said, "Excuse me, what word?" I said, Latinx. Latin X. Like somebody was taking 10th year Latin in high school. They were already nodding. They said, "What the hell is that supposed to mean?" I said, "It's a replacement for Latino or Hispanic or, Why? I'm like, "I don't know." It's like, "Oh God, I hate that shit." And that was the end of the exchange.
No, there are a lot of Latinos who look at Latinx and say no, and not having any part of it.
Well, it seems to have made the majority of people go, huh?
Yeah.
Because it came out of left field. Number one, X is not a common letter used. It's in some province names in the country name of Mexico. But you don't see X in a lot of. Read some Spanish literature. Tell me how many X's you run into.
Yeah.
Where'd you pull the X from? I mean, really, the first time I saw it is I was like, wow, 10th year Latin. What kind of hellish school are you going to, man? They start you at elementary school?
They must think it's like neutral or something,
I think so.
But it's right before Y.
Well, the thing is, from what I can figure, is that I think it started, as all things on hell do, on Tumblr.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Tumblr has a tendency to do this thing where if they don't want to differentiate between stuff, they'll put an X. So I think it was just meant to be Latin. I'm male, but I'm not Latino, and it was just meant to be Latin and then an X. Like it wasn't meant to be sounded out.
Like Latina and Latino. I mean, they really have got to hate the fact that Spanish is a gendered language.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I think it was someone just trying to say, "I'm male, but don't call me a Latino. Just call me Latin." Like that kind of stuff. I think they were trying to do that, and that just got horribly disfigured in the process. And then idiots started calling it Latinx,
like women's.
Yeah, like it's just meant to be, "I'm woman without the man." But instead they tip with the X.
Okay, listen to this. This is from Merriam-Webster's etymology page. Latinx purposefully breaks with Spanish's gendered grammatical tradition. X signifies something unknown and is used in Latinx to connote unspecified gender. A similar use of X is used in MX, a gender-neutral title of courtesy instead of Mr. or Mrs. It has been suggested that the use of X and MX influenced Latinx. Other efforts challenging the gender binary in Spanish include the use of the slash, so Latino /A, and the, wait for it, @ sign. Latin @ the symbol suggesting inclusivity by having an O encircling an A. Isn't that sweet?
It's not going to change.
Alternatives denote both male and female in their formation and do not include those outside the gender binary. Latinx, on the other hand, is a word free from gender in its makeup, which is why those who identify as trans, queer, or non-binary use it to express their identity. Said nobody ever.
Okay, now I would suggest they go and try to translate the poetry of Federico Garcia Lorca using that.
These people aren't
They're not serious.
interested in literature like that.
No, they're not but they're not, they don't even understand. You can't speak Spanish doing that.
Right.
All you'll do is confuse the entire Spanish speaking world.
All they want is for Spanish to get rid of their gender.
But it can't.
That's not that big a change for the language, right?
Well, no, it's
It simply can't. It's
the thing is, you all are equating that these are Spanish-speaking Latin. These people don't. These are people who were born in America who never bothered to learn Spanish.
or
Because-
they're little white leftists who
Yeah.
live in Madison, Wisconsin, who
Or they're like
did somebody a favor.
fifth or sixth
Yeah.
generation, like Hispanic or Latino or Latin, sorry, and they never learn the language. Their grandparents are the only ones who speak it. Their parents don't.
Oh, the
They-
glowy mestizos. Okay.
Yeah.
got
So
it.
that's who these are. These are the people whose last name is Rodriguez, and they don't even know how to fucking say it. Like,
Hey! That's me, isn't it? Shit.
you know
I
how to
don't
say
speak
it
Spanish.
though. Well, that's the thing. You're
Oh.
not one of those assholes, though. Like,
My
that's the
kids are-
problem.
There are plenty of people of Hispanic heritage who don't speak Spanish living in the United States. Loads of them. Yeah.
My
Sometimes I identify as Spanish.
Might as well.
Yeah.
But
You're
that's
you're bourbon.
Well,
Yeah, and I
it's-
don't speak Spanish worth a crap.
well, it's this group of people who, and participation trophies kind of have a little bit to do with it, but it's people who know they're not special and need to make up something to make them special and different, but they still need to belong to a
Oh, they're
group.
special. It's
Yeah.
just that they're in the group that's eating all the crayons anyway.
They're
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, but that's not the type of special they want to be. And that's kind of the thing of like, they don't understand that it's kind of trying to explain to them what special snowflake the term actually means. It means everyone is special, just none of us are special. That's what it
Yeah.
means.
Somebody's
don't
favorite
get
color
that.
has to be ham.
My
Yes.
mom thought I'm
Yeah.
special.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. My mom.
Your
Well, the
mom.
Right.
ironic
Right.
thing is, if you listen to a lot of these people, they don't even like their parents.
No.
So, like, it's everybody has trauma because I can't count the number of times I've been on social media and they're like, if you were told as a child that you were mature for your age, you dealt with trauma. It's like, fuck off. There are just some people who were just more mature.
No, the guy's
Right,
name
Nate.
was Norm, and he was creepy, and I think the police took him away. His name wasn't Trauma. I mean,
Yeah, well, but they keep trying to make everything like they're trying to blame their parents, but they don't want to interact with their parents. But they try to blame their parents. But they
Yeah,
still rely on
I,
their parents.
can we discuss cutoff culture and how ridiculous that is? That, oh, you micro expression hurt me, so I am now going to cut you off. I don't need anyone, especially my toxic family.
No, I mean the thing is like if you want to cut them off, you're probably making things a lot easier for them. So go right ahead. Means they don't have to deal with your crazy
But
ass.
it's ridiculous that if you go and oh, I have this issue or something,
it's the over 18 version of the tantrum.
Yeah.
it cut them off.
Well, the
Why
thing
are
is
they in
that-
your life? I love the
And when they die and you're not in the will and
Then you
you're
get pissed.
surprised,
so I
thing
like
is
listening with my girls to the am I an asshole or not Reddits that
Yeah.
Those are
read up-
interesting sometimes.
and it's always I divorce him instantly.
yes.
It's like he left the fridge opened and some food went bad. That doesn't for divorce.
Well, the thing is that a lot of these people who say they've cut people out of their life, air quotes, never
Don't
do.
have anybody.
Well, they either don't
Well,
have anybody
yeah.
or they haven't actually cut anybody out. They're just saying it so
Or-
this way they can feel like
No,
they're part of the group.
I'm gonna move to
They're
Canada.
confusing. They're confusing the cutter with the cuttee.
Yes. And they also, they've been cut out of people's lives. And
Oh,
they-
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I'm moving to Canada, but they never go. God damn
God,
it.
I wish they would.
You know
and it's-
what?
I'm leaving the
would
country. Here's
Help. I say we all help them go not to Canada because that's too close, but someplace where they'll never find their way back.
Shanghai.
Well, it's very interesting to watch because like I have a very negative
Bangkok works for
I have a
me.
very negative view of social
Venus.
media in the sense of like the fake stuff people put online.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always very interesting with the amount of people who
And
claim
everybody
that they're
clap.
happy. Well, the amount of people who claim they're happy they left the States,
Mhm.
but people who live in Germany are like, God, America's so terrible. I would have had to pay for this pregnancy. And it's like, okay, if you hate America, just talk about Germany. Oh, that's right. You can't get all the American haters to watch your stuff so you get money. So you have to talk shit about America. I'm
Yep.
not saying America's perfect, but that's my issue is that a lot of people say this, oh, well, I have trauma of everything. So this way people who feel the need to have to be traumatized can go, oh, yes, I identify with you. Or the people who are like, I'm whatever sexual.
We're all victims.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like
But
if
we're
you
not.
truly
I'm not a victim of anybody.
I know, but they have to be a victim. They
But
they can only be the
why?
victim if they choose. That's the problem.
That's just stupid. In Germany, you're not the baby's not free. You're paying it in your taxes, you dipshit.
Well, the thing is that a lot of these people are people who are getting paid by American companies to work in Germany. So they're making American money with European rates. In many cases, they're not actually paying into the taxes that pay for that stuff.
But
Because
their
several people have
company
gotten
is.
caught. Yeah,
Their company is, and it might be if they actually were doing a job of any great value, make better money elsewhere, but they're not doing jobs of great value if they think like that. Trust me.
yeah. But it's this way with
Except for shit that floats like Susan.
yeah.
Hi,
It's like,
Susan. We love you, Susan.
it's kind of like people who talk about Japan or Korea and stuff like that. They're like,
Mhm.
it's so safe. It's like it's not safe.
It's not.
You're a-
Are you
you're a-
kidding?
Well,
you're
you're
more
a white
likely to die than
you're a white
Well-
foreigner in a country who has very big guests. Like you are a guest here. I can't do anything to you because you are a guest here, or you're going to put it on the world stage, and I can't have that. Like
every single one of us is safer in America except Adam than being in Korea.
What?
Well, that's because you live in Cook County.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but it's this thing that so many people have where they can only be the victim if they choose what they're being victimized about. When
Yes.
when there's actual victimization, when they're getting used or cheated on, whatever, I've literally seen them deteriorate and lose their minds because they're no longer in control of the victimization and can turn it off and on whenever they want. And
Yeah, real life is actually occurring,
and that's
not imaginary life.
yeah, and it's that kind of stuff that it's really interesting to watch the deterioration on social media because
It's kind of tragic.
it's tragic, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's kind of like it's kind of like John, to tie it back to Jean Pierre. I feel bad for her, but at the same time, at some point,
you're cashing the check, Toots.
there was a voice in the back of your head that said, "This is not
This is
right.
wrong.
You know
Yeah.
it's not right.
And you did
Why
it
are
anyway.
you doing it?"
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
my issue. Is like I know that
It's
voice
just
is
so
bitter.
it's so easy to take the
Devil's
path
bargain,
of
isn't it?
least, of least resistance. But speaking of the path of least resistance, you have spent the last 2 hours of your life hanging with us, and I just want to thank chat for coming out and listening to us prattle on, and also thank my panel, my friends here, Prospero, Serenity, Jenna, Adam, and Harry for hanging with me for a couple hours. Just one of the most fun things I get to do is hang with you guys once a week or twice a week these days, and we'll see you on Saturday night and again next
You
Tuesday.
won't see me. Harry
But
doesn't like me.
Oh,
that's
shut
not-
up.
Where's
Jenna.
that coming from?
Stop it, Jenna.
I have actually
Right,
can
this
be
is the
you.
benediction. Let's not interrupt. the
Night,
benediction.
everybody. Night, night.
So anyway, thank you for coming out, listening to us, and having a little bit of fun this evening. But zoo is closed. Yeah, you can't
Go
stay
home.
here. And go home. Bye,
Hug your
everybody.
family.
Zoo is
Bye.
closed.